Welcome, everybody, to Cinema Royale. I am Travis Hopson of PunchDrunkCritics.com, and on this episode of Cinema Royale, we're talking Blue Beetle, the latest DC superhero movie. Comes at a very interesting time for that franchise right now, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But joining me on this episode is someone who's not been on here in ages. My dear friend Nell Minow, the movie mom. Do they still call you the movie mom?
They certainly do. So that's fine. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here.
I'm glad to have you. She's also on RogerEbert.com where she does great stuff. Okay, so as the movie mom, Blue Beetle seems like it could be right in your wheelhouse because it is a superhero movie, but it is a movie that is very family oriented. In my review, talking about it, that was one of the things I stressed that I really liked the most about it. I think this is the first superhero movie in a long time for me. This includes the movies that were really outward with it, like Shazam and things like that, that really got the family aspect right. Like it felt they were such a boost to that character, to Jaime Reyes, who's the person who is Blue Beetle. His family was so integral to his development as a hero. I thought that part was just brilliant.
I completely agree with you. And in my review, I said that was his real superpower, was his family. DC in particular has got a history of superheroes who come from a place of tragedy and pain. You've got Batman and Superman, both of whom lost their parents. Superman lost his whole planet. And and so to see, and of course, Shazam is a wonderful family, but it's a found family. He's still dealing very much with the pain of losing his mom.
The Flash also.
And the Flash also. And so you have a character here who has this incredible strength from his family. At first, I was a little bit worried that the family was going to be caricatured and sitcom-y because, they come to the airport and they're very excited and they follow him to his job interview. But it's not like that at all. And George Lopez is his uncle, but it's not like that at all. And, I'm not going to say anything except keep an eye on Grandma, everybody. But
I want the Nana Max series.
Yes, me too.
Follow this.
But I loved that he had and was completely devoted to and completely supported by this wonderful family. And then I also think the other superpower in the movie is the immigrant experience, that they very much, the resilience, the ingenuity, that is a part of their culture as people who have recently immigrated to the United States, I thought was absolutely terrific. So I love that the family was great. I love that they didn't make them the butt of humor to an extreme. I mean, they're charming and delightful. And Blue Beetle has not always been a Mexican American, as you know. This is something that they've done very recently. And I think it opens up a wonderful range of possibility. And I love that he has this fabulous supportive family.
No, you're absolutely right. The immigrant experience is so crucial to the character and his family as well. And I like that they gave him, and he has this in the comics as well, his own city to protect, Palmyra City. And I like that it kind of has its own, like Gotham and like Metropolis, it has its own personality. There's a very distinct line between like what the haves have, which you can kind of see it in the distance. It kind of looks like San Francisco from like Big Hero 6. It kind of looks like that.
Exactly.
And then you have the kind of the immigrant communities, which look more like, kind of East Los Angeles or things like that. It kind of looks very clear divide.
I remember when I was sitting next to you in the movie, and it becomes clear that this poor kid, the first one in his family to graduate from college, is going to have a love interest who is from the very, very ultra wealthy family. I said, I feel like we're in a Step Up movie because that's the plot of all those movies. I'm expecting them to start to dance. But yeah, I love the fact that they address the income inequality and the determination that it takes to survive under those circumstances, and that the ending, this is not a spoiler really, the ending is also like a Step Up movie, and that they find a way to benefit that community.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So for those who don't know this Blue Beetle, and most people are familiar with the Ted Kord version of Blue Beetle, he's the one who who was under the mask for the longest time. This one centers on Jaime Reyes. I had to get used to calling him Jaime because for years of reading him in the comics, I called him Jamie because it's
Yes.
just natural.
Yes.
I was doing around town yesterday, and I wrote my teleprompter part, and I wrote Jamie all the time. And when I went on there to read it, I kept calling him Jamie by accident, and I was like, I had to knock my brain to say Jaime. And he gains these powers, a magical alien suit of armor by touching the scarab, which draws into him the attention of Victoria Cord, played by Susan Sarandon, who is in comics, she is your classic corrupt corporate villain.
Right.
But of course, she's also, kind of a white imperialist as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a big part of the character.
Bill, you think building a private army might enter into that in some way?
Yeah, but one of the things I liked about this, and I mentioned it after we saw the movie, is that we've had years of all these like multiverse movies, and this one felt really simple and straightforward. You got a brand new hero, some aspects of his origin, especially, and when you start dealing with like some of the repercussions of becoming a hero, kind of felt Spider-Man-ish in some ways, but not in a bad way. And it's like, but this felt really simple and grounded and easy to follow. And anybody, whether you're into superheroes or not, could watch it and not be confused by it.
Absolutely. And, I, at this point, am a little bit allergic to origin stories. If I have to see another radioactive spider, please save me. But I thought this one balanced the origin. This is not as well known a superhero. We needed some origin about him, but it balanced the origin, it got it out of the way, and we got into the story right away at the right time. I will say that my biggest criticism of the movie is that I always say that superhero movies either make it or don't based on the villain. And I love Susan Sarandon, and I think she does as best as she can with that part. But there were a lot of dumb lines that she had to say.
Oh yeah.
And I think they could do better than that. So I did not think she was as interesting as super villain as we really needed. One thing that she did do well is that she was able to sort of swing back and forth between being very coyly manipulative and then being very dictatorial. That was fine, but I didn't think they did enough with that character.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I think that also kind of goes back to the kind of character that she was. That character is always very stock in the way that it's portrayed, whether it's in comics or movies or TV. They don't really do very much with that brand of character. And I think if you're going to tell Jaime's story from the beginning like this, you kind of need him to face somebody who's not too complex. Like I'd want to see him face somebody more complex next time, like maybe somebody who is also Latino or something like that, or who may have conflicts with the culture in a different kind of way. I'd be more interested to see things expand from there. But for this one, I kind of like the fact that it kept her pretty simple.
Okay, I'm open-minded about that.
I get where you're coming from, though. The character's not particularly well written, to be honest.
Okay, but this is the movie. Now, since you have mastered the name Jaime, I'm going to let you say the name of the actor who plays him because I want to talk about him.
Solo Maridueña.
Okay.
You
And I
gotta
thought
put the
he
little
was,
yeah at the end. I had
yeah,
to find that yesterday when I was doing my reading for it. So
I think he was terrific. I was super impressed with him.
me too. I had never seen him before because I don't watch Cobra Kai. So I
Yeah.
had never seen him before. It's my first exposure to him. I knew a lot of people that said he's really good, and I really liked him. He's got charisma. He's got humor. He stands up well with it. Like his family is all a bunch of really funny people.
Yeah.
They're all really funny.
Yeah.
And whether it's Adriana Barraza or George Lopez, are all really funny people. The girl who plays his sister is hilarious.
She
I
is.
thought she was great.
She's the pesky sister we all deserve.
Yes, yes. I love the way the family kind of comes together and messes with him by cheering him on for things that he's really embarrassed by. It happens all the time. I love that. But he's really funny too. He holds up well against all of them. And I think also when the movie gets really emotional and heavy at a certain point, he also carries that very well too. I liked him a lot.
I did. I thought he was just a smashing debut for me. I don't watch Cobra Kai either, although I know everybody loves it. I think he was terrific, tremendous, as you said, tremendous screen charisma. He handled all of the parts well. I think that, again, one of my issues with the movie is that at the beginning, his character is very clear. I will not kill anybody. I don't want any kind of lethal weaponry. And then he switches from that pretty fast. But you know, he's cheering on when people are getting blown away. But they have all got, helmets on. So I guess we don't recognize them as humans. I don't know.
It's a
But
pretty violent movie at
yeah,
some
it is. It was a little surprisingly violent, I
Yeah.
thought, in the last third. But yeah, I thought he was absolutely terrific. I thought the girl who played his sister, the actress who played his mother, all wonderful, but especially Nana.
This is a question that you could probably better answer than me, but I felt like the movie also did a really good job of uh of capturing the family's faith.
Yeah,
I thought that was a big part of them too, not just like their hard work and their coming over, but their faith was really integral to him and his family as well.
definitely. And I thought that was having seen a movie last night where it was really drummed into you. This movie did not drum it into you. It just made it as
I
much
don't
a
even know what
natural
movie that
part
is now.
of their
What movie is that?
The Hill.
Oh no, I'm about to watch that literally as soon as we're done.
Okay. But it was as much a part of their lives, a natural, organic, integral part of their lives as the cooking that they did, as the car that they drove. That was just great.
Yeah, no, it's really fantastic. So I know you're not huge into these superhero movies all the time, but what are your hopes for this movie going forward? Because with the way things are now, James Gunn is coming in and he's starting a whole thing new, the whole franchise new, everything's new. But he says that Blue Beetle is one of the things that he's keeping, and that Solo will be back and everybody will be back. Are you hoping for more of these,
I definitely hope this creates a franchise. I hope they're not burying it in August. I hope it does find
yeah.
a really big audience. And I would love to see Blue Beetle join the Justice League. I would love to see him interacting with the other superheroes. But mostly, I just want to see where he takes this. He's an interesting, thoughtful, educated character, and I would love to see more from him.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan of Blue Beetle now.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some hopes and some asks if they're gonna if they're gonna do more.
Let's hear what is. Oh, let's remind everybody.
I don't mind. It's not really spoilers or anything, but I really want to see Booster Gold.
Uh,
Booster Gold is
I looked him up after we talked because as you know, is not familiar with the comic, but I totally agree with you. I want to see that character.
yes, and that is a very fun potential character. They've been rumors about making a Blue Beetle a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movie for years that never got off the ground. And I think at one point Nathan Fillion maybe was going to play Booster Gold, which would have been perfect.
Awesome.
Stuff like that. So it's like Booster Gold has such a relationship to Blue Beetle, even though it's Ted Cord, but he still has a connection to that character. I'd love to see that happen. I think that would be fantastic.
But, well, in one of the two extra scenes that we see over the credits, we get a little hint that might be possible.
Yes, there are definitely end credits. One of them is more important than the other, but both are funny, or at least one of them is super funny. So yeah, definitely stick around through the credits. So Nell, you got anything coming up that you wanna plug before we get out of here?
No, just what's going on Roger Ebert. I've got an interview with the director of Jules. Nice. And over at the credits, I've got an interview with the director of Red, White, and Royal Blue, and an interview with, this is the dream job, casting director for Ted Lasso.
Nice. Very nice. I'm still trying to finish that final season. I haven't done it yet. Oh, I'm so slow when it comes to TV. No, this has been fantastic. I have to have you back on again soon. I'm not gonna wait so long anymore to do it. I'm always sort of random when it comes to these shows that I do, but I will not wait so long to have you back on. It's been great. Thank you. My pleasure, and I look forward to next time really soon. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Cinema Royale. I'm Travis Hopson of PunchdrunkCritics.com. You can find me every day there and loads of other places. Just type in like Travis Hopson Film Critic or something. All right. All right. That's it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.